Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are having a great week.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. Glad to be back on with you guys. I know I was absent for the last 2 weeks. I think Nick was holding down the fort, so hopefully you guys had a good time with Nick. Go ahead and let everyone else in the call and give me 1 second, guys. Perfect. Sweet. So as always, welcome to our weekly coaching sessions over here at Lean Mining Pros. Hopefully everyone's having a great start to their week. We want to go ahead and open up the floor for any questions or anything you guys need assistance with. Please feel free to share so we can go ahead and give you the assistance you need. Let me go ahead and also share while we wait for more people. Let me just send a message to the other group, letting them know we're live.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I have my LLC and everything, but not a website yet. And
Mm-hmm.
one of my sellers, they were like, "Yeah, so what's your information so we can check you out?" And I'm like, "Oh
Yeah.
God, what do I do with that?"
All right, so I'm gonna give you an answer and a quick funny story. So one, I wouldn't overthink that because if they need a website, I would either, if you know anyone or partnering with anyone, it with AI now, you can make a website in literally less than 5-10 minutes, right? So one, I would say don't panic. I would probably recommend either going with Gemini or Claude. Claude can make some really good websites in less than 10 minutes. You give it a reference, an example, and you say, hey, make this, to fit my company name or, whatever the case may be, change the words, et cetera, et cetera. Boom, you'll have a website like that in less than 10 minutes. Um, when I first got started, I remember specifically, like it was yesterday, my first deal, I had that exact same scenario. And at the time, there was an app called HomeSnap for realtors, and HomeSnap allowed you to instantly made websites with no problem, right? And I literally did that and sent it over to the seller, and she had literally no issues with that. And that website took less than 5-10 minutes to make. So now, fast forward 6-7 years later, that same concept can still be applied, especially with the capabilities of AI and things of that nature. So hopefully that helps. And then I also have a follow up question for you out of curiosity.
Yes,
Where is this seller located at?
Palm Bay.
Even better, talk to me. We got some buyers in Palm Bay. We trying to make some money. What's going on? You got to tell me more. Is it a white? If it's a white lot, blue lot,
It was a little white line.
it's a white lot. I
Um,
don't.
oh, they sounded a little interested. Um, but they weren't really trying to let go of the lot. They were like, we can hold out. They weren't really interested in the price, but they were like, we'll check you out. So I was like, oh, okay.
Mm, well, we haven't done this in about 2 weeks because I was traveling and had some appointments last 2 weeks. But I don't know if you've been on these calls, but I love doing live seller calls. So if they want to sell, we got somebody that want to buy. We can make some money in between. So,
Okay. Okay. What kind of prices are we looking at for the white lot?
so white lots. The only thing with white lots that we have to be mindful of in Palm Bay
Mhm.
is they're I want to use this word carefully. They're not like unvaluable, but they're like the least valuable out of like the other two versions of lots. Blue
Right.
lots, city water, and then green lot, city water, and city sewer, right?
Mhm.
So the thing with white lots is the builders have to install a septic system inside of that. And those septic systems can range anywhere between 8 to 10 to 15 grand, give or take, right? So with that extra added expense, typically most builders tend to pay less for those white lots. So if we can get them anywhere, did they at least give you a range or price range of where they want to be at?
It was really crazy. They was talking about they want to hold 45. And I'm like, that leaves no room for me.
Nah, yeah, I can't do 45. Um, but it depends because one of the things that I always like to do is you kind of got to walk them through the process of discovery so you can extract the information based on what you told me. Now, again, obviously different conversation can, extract different information. But if they don't necessarily seem motivated, I wouldn't necessarily spend too much time on them because if they're telling you like, hey, if we get this price, we'll sell, but if not, because that's a very common thing that we hear. Um, if they say something like that, then they're really not too motivated. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I will recommend still making a website because you're still going to need that anyway, and then that way you have it next time someone asks you for it. And then I would probably treat these guys more as a follow up.
Okay. And how soon should I follow up with them?
With those people, with those people that have like no real motivation. I mean, they're thinking about it, but I don't think they've like fully thought it out. Maybe 60 to 90 days is what I would say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 60 to 90. Because think about it like this. The only time I follow up with people less than that is when they actually already made the decision I want to sell.
Okay. So quarterly.
And hmm I want to sell, and then the only thing that is causing us to move forward is either we're not on the same, we're nowhere near the same price range. They have other people that they need to talk to. They have other, like they have other issues that need to be taken care of before they can even get to the point of selling. That's the only time I will follow up less than that, less time with that. But anybody else that's kind of like still on the fence and still not a little bit too sure or has given me any indication that they haven't already made the decision to sell, then I will follow up with them at a later time
Okay. Thank you.
frame. No problem. And if you want, please let me know how it goes building your website with Claude. I prefer Claude. There's plenty of other AI cool stuff out there, but yeah, if you get a free
Yeah,
account,
Claude is all the rage.
listen,
Clock it.
listen. Claude is definitely I'm actually about to upgrade my account because I keep running out of tokens. But yeah, Claude can do some really nice, amazing things, especially Claude Code. So you could do something on Claude Code and like that have a website. So
Would you need a domain?
you can have Claude Code attach it to this thing called Versal, and it can act like a domain.
Okay, but you can still like have your own domain, like if you wanted to set up something a little more legitimate and stuff, right?
100%, yes.
And you can use Claude to code it, I guess. I don't know.
Correct. Oh,
Okay,
100%.
okay. I had a question for you.
hmm
Um, you showed us a few months ago on some app. I can't remember if it was Land Portal or if it was something else. That you can find out a sell-through rate in the market.
hmm
I can't remember which app you were showing that us on.
So that is on Land Portal. Land Portal does now have that feature of being able to see the sell through rate of the particular market. Before, I was using Landstat, and then I stopped using Landstats because Land Portal integrated that feature. And I think you have to have the at least the $49 plan on Land Portal in order to make that happen. And then if you do, you can see you want me to review that real quick?
Yeah, because I have at least the $49 plan.
Okay.
I think it's that. Because my next tier up would be the $500 plan.
Go ahead and log in on mines real quick. All right, so let me share my screen. Can you guys see my screen real quick? Put a one in the chat if you can see my screen. Perfect. Awesome. So what Frats is referring to specifically is a couple months ago, we went ahead and did a tutorial on, you want to look at this as almost market research. And this market research can allow you to identify markets, counties, cities, zip codes that have a pretty good track record of having properties sell relatively quickly. If properties are selling relatively quickly, that means buyers are aggressively buying in that particular market. Make sense? And then they also give you kind of a like a textbook definition of what sell through rate is. So let me go ahead and statistics sell through rate. And then as you can see here, they break down the textbook definition of sell-through rate is just a percentage of listed land parcels sold in a specific period of time. And the way it's calculated is you take the total number of sold parcels and you divide that by the total number of listed properties for sale. So the idea behind this is you want to find cities, counties, or zip codes that there are more pieces of land that are selling than they are listed. Make sense? Any questions on that before we dive in further? Or is it pretty clear?
Do you have any specific proportion of a number of sold versus for sale?
I would say there's no exact science to it, but I would say if you're in a market that's anywhere between 70% and above, you're in a pretty good moving market. And then as long as you price it correctly. Now, this strategy is mainly for, and this is again opinion based. I'm not saying that this is factual, but in my experience, what's worked for me, this wouldn't necessarily apply to more so of your like finding pieces of land, infill pieces of land and selling them to home builders. This would be more so like if you're going to take on a little bit of a larger parcel, anywhere between like 1 to 10 acres or 10 to 20 acres, like a little bit more rural, and you're like novating them, meaning like you're putting them on a contract with the seller and then you're just listing it for a higher price to find a buyer. Does that make sense?
Yes, got it. Thank you.
So now, can this strategy work for infill lots? Yes. But one, keep in mind that this strategy should tell you, okay, if I'm seeing areas where there's lots selling very fast and there's buyers buying, if you're looking for to execute the infill strategy, you need to make sure that you identify the areas. Okay, there's buyer activity here, lots are selling pretty quickly. Then immediately go to, let me go and find the buyers that are buying. Make sense? If you're using that infill lot strategy, make sense? But if you're going towards more rural and you're like flipping, getting buying low, selling high, then you still want to take the same approach, but just make sure that you're pricing them correctly so you can be one of the people that sell fast as well too. So let's go ahead and go sold. You can look 6 months. Of course, we can look at land. This can also apply to any other asset type, as you can see, not only just land. You can apply for houses, townhouses, the whole 9 yards. Most of us here are doing land. So let me just go ahead and do land real quick. And then, of course, as you can see, you can look through all the acreage levels. So you can do 0 to 1 if you're doing infield. Everything else, of course, you can apply. So for the example purposes, I'm going to just do infield. And then we're looking at sell-through rate. And then as you can see, we're just going to start off in Florida. And then, of course, we can narrow out. At the bottom, it's going to tell you the scale of it, right? Whether it's low, medium, high, or high. Everything in the green is having a high sell-through rate. So you can see, for example purposes, in Osceola County, the sell-through rate is reporting 212%. And then if we go to table view, you also want to make sure that you kind of see what that means, because just because it says 212% doesn't necessarily mean, oh, let me go to Osceola County, right? If you break it down just in simplest terms, as you can see back, For sale in the last 30 days, 17 properties went up for sale. 32 properties sold in the last 30 days. In the 0 to 1, basically in the infield space. So do you see how, if you look at that particular data point, you can see this is an area where lots are selling faster than they're being listed for sale. Make sense, Fritz?
Yeah, definitely. I was looking for it all day yesterday, and it was like right underneath my nose. Just
No problem.
thank you, thank you. But okay, yeah, I got it.
Any follow-ups on that, or?
No, no, I got it. I think so. If I think of something, yeah, definitely I'll ask.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect.
Hey, that market analysis tool is not available in the starter plan, right? It's with the next level up and beyond.
Say that one more time.
That this market analysis tool is not available in the basic or the starter plan with Land Portal, right?
Yeah, I think it's on like the second tier plan, if I'm not mistaken.
Got it. Looked pretty good because Land Stats, I think was charging also 99 per month. Land Portal 99 per month, and if it includes this, that's no brainer. So
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one I pay for, the 99 a month.
Yeah.
That's the
Correct.
one.
I'm gonna switch now.
Francisco.
Thank you.
No problem. Real quick, Stephanie had a seller call that she wanted to get to. I wish I recorded a seller call that I did with Stephanie yesterday. Hopefully that one ends up materializing to a contract, Stephanie. The builder should be going out there today at 3 o'clock, he said. So within an hour, we'll determine if it's a good deal or not. Stephanie, let me get to one question and then we'll do your seller call if we have time, if you're still on here. Is she still on here? Okay, yes. Get the phone number and address ready, Stephanie.
Sorry, Francisco. I don't feel too good. I was on mute. I think I recorded it yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, great. So yeah, I think that would be good to share because I was telling one of the other students yesterday, I was like, man, that was a really good call with the seller who was interested in very obviously he did sound very motivated, very, very knowledgeable on the market of Cape Coral as well too. And he had this property listed for what, 209? And then by the end of the call, we got him to consider at least 190. Now, of course, the builder has to sign off and at least, and we're anticipating that the builder at least come back at 200. So just for context purposes, this seller was already listing on the market. He was listed at 209. He already had a contract before. The contract ended up falling out. And you can do deals that are on the MLS, but you have to make sure that if you are going to present a deal to a buyer or a builder that's on the MLS, you want to try to do it your best to present it under what it's listed for. So that way, at least you're earning your keep. So we gave him an offer of 190. He sounded open to it. And then he's going to actually drive by it today. And we will see. But let me go ahead, Stephanie, get that question ready. And then let me go ahead and answer Gene's question. And then we can go ahead and hit the ground running.
Yes, hi, Francisco.
Gene, what's going on,
man? Not much. I was gonna ask about the acquisition matrix thing. I submitted a couple deals and I haven't heard anything.
One of those ones that you submitted,
Right.
I think my assistant said you needed help talking to the seller on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you still have the seller's information?
Yes, I do, but they've been ghosting me so it's been like a couple of weeks now.
Okay. Do you want to have me call them right now for you?
I
Do you
can
know how
pull
much?
that up. You can go with Stephanie first and I'll look for it.
Okay, perfect.
All right. By the way, that number you gave us, is this still a good number to reach you?
Yes.
Sure.
Either my assistant or myself will answer that. Did you
Alright.
text back?
I'll text plenty of people. Nobody answered.
Give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and look into it. Okay, I see why she missed it. All right, perfect. So, Gene, I'm gonna put you on my follow-up list to make sure, and then I'll get up with my assistant to make sure that doesn't fall through the cracks. And I see where she missed it at for you.
Yeah.
So I apologize about that, brother.
No problem. Should we still submit or is that on pause for now?
Go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and contact you and send you another link, and then once you get that new link, I'll go ahead and have you continue submitting.
All right. Thank you.
Perfect. But get the seller call ready, and then I'll go ahead and start with Stephanie, and then we can go over to you. Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. And real quick, hold on, Derby, you had a question or you got something?
I need help, and I want you
What
to
you
do
need?
it. I want to do it. Could you please do me a favor, Francisco? I need you to call the seller and tell them that they have 2 gopher tortoises because I ain't want to start this. Like, I'm not doing this today. Not only that, but I need you to call that lady in Brooksville to see if we can't take her property because it's in a flood zone, and then we
Okay.
need to put it on the MLS. So I need you to handle all that. I can't.
Okay.
Okay. So let me
All
get my life together.
Okay. You want me to do Stephanie first?
Yeah, go to Stephanie.
Okay. Let me look at this lot. Stephanie, do you know if this is a white lot or?
It's blue, and it's a double lot. Sorry for my voice.
No, you good. You said it's a what lot?
It's blue and double lot.
Oh, blue and double lot. Perfect. Well, we love double lot. And what is the seller asking for?
He didn't really ask. He didn't give me a price. I was just calling in the follow-ups. But he said he had an offer for 58. He did not let it go. But I offered 50. I was trying to stay under 55 that Debbie said. But I want you to call him and see if you can get him a little bit higher. I think it might because he was really paying attention to what I was saying. He was really kind of want to sell.
Six, 699. Perfect. Can you guys hear it ring? Drop a 1 in the chat if you hear it ring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hey, good afternoon, Jose.
How can I help you?
Hey, Jose. Yeah, I was actually giving you a call about your vacant lot in Palm Bay on Wadsworth Street. Hello? Jose?
You hung up on your ass.
He's still hello? It sounded like he was still on the line, but let me go ahead and call him back and see. And his thing says San Juan, Puerto Rico. Is this overseas?
Yes, how can I help you?
Hey, Jose, can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I was giving you a call about your vacant lot in Palm Bay.
Which one?
I'm looking at Wadsworth Street. 1313 Wadsworth Street?
Yeah, that's a double lot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Do you have any interest in selling that by chance?
I do if it's the right price.
Okay. And what would that right price be?
Well, the last offer that we had, but for some reason the connection didn't go through well, was 116, but they've offered me 105, 110, 100. They've offered me 30,000. They've offered me 45,000. You know, I've had different offers, but obviously, I got sick when somebody offered me 55 per lot, and couldn't follow through the arrangement. And but now I'm okay. But I haven't, you know, I'm always getting different offers, and some of them are reasonable, some of them are not. But I'm not like in a rush. I don't have it in a realtor. It's a corner lot. It's very close to I-95, to the big stores. You know, community college very close, schools very close, and it has city water. So I'm looking for the right price, the right person for the right price if I'm going to sell it.
Perfect. And you know what? I do want to commend you on that mindset that you have as far as, you know, making sure it's the right person and the right price. Because basically what I just heard you said was, you know, the other individuals that may have probably put an offer on this particular property, it sounds like they gave you a number and weren't able to perform per se, right?
Well, I wasn't able to get follow up, you know, because I got sick.
Oh, okay.
But now I'm better. And my wife doesn't take any decisions unless I give the okay, you know. So right now I'm much better. I'm able to work. I'm working again. So I've been listening to different offers, but they haven't been too appealing. And since I'm not in a rush to sell, unless they're going to give me a good offer, you know.
Gotcha. Okay. So this doesn't sound like anything that you've made a firm decision on, you know, wanting to sell, because what I want to do is I want to make sure that, you know, I don't waste your time and my time isn't also wasted. So my intention on this phone call is, you know, if you're already made a decision to want to sell and say, hey, if I get the right price, I'm willing to move forward. I would hate to make you an offer and then you tell me like, hey, this is not, you know, something that I'm looking to do right now within the next 30 to 60 days. So if you have a couple minutes, I would definitely like to talk to you a little bit more about what will be the ideal terms to actually get this to the finish line. Because I don't want to give you an offer and then you just say it'd just be one of many other offers that you've gotten over the last couple of days.
Money talks, you know. Right now, money talks, and
right.
And the money's if you make me an offer, and don't try to convince me of what I already know, because I've had so much long, and I've paid taxes, and I've had to pay to clean it because the city, because the neighbor next door, because the neighbor in the back, because this, because that. I spend money, so I can't give it. People want to offer me like I bought the property 25 years back. You know?
Yeah.
So unless you're gonna give me a really good, reasonable offer for us to go forward, you don't have to convince me about a lot. Just tell me how much you're offering, and I'll tell you sincerely if it's an offer that I'm interested in or not.
Right. No. Yeah. I definitely appreciate that. And one of the things that I want to address that you said is as far as convincing you. In my line of work, I always tell people with anyone that I work with, I can't convince anyone to do anything. Right. It has to make sense for you financially in order for you to say yes. And then in order for me to give you a number, it has to be at a number that, you know, just for correct, because we don't buy these properties or these pieces of land with the intent of losing money. And going back to your earlier point of making sure, you know, you're selling to the right person for this lot. And it sounds like you would appreciate this would be, again, not telling you anything you already don't know. It sounds like you're very knowledgeable. You mentioned earlier it has city water, city sewer.
Yeah.
And, you know, I want to set the expectations very clearly that, you know, we're buying these lots with the intention to build for the families that we have in our pipeline that we do new construction for. So in order for this to make sense, it does have, in order for us to move forward, it does have to make some type of financial sense where we're not operating at a loss. Make sense?
Well, exactly. I'm not going to lose either because,
Perfect.
I know the basic, what the majority there sells for, but I can't sell at the same price because it's not well water, it's city water. So the price goes up a little bit more. Plus, if you're going to construct the house, you're not going to sell it at a price that where the person's going to have well water. You're going to sell it as a house that has city water.
Absolutely.
So if you gain, if you construct, and I gain if I sell it, because I still got to pay taxes when I sell the property. So it's not going to be like if you're going to offer me, just to make an example, oh, I offer you $150,000. I'm going to put $150,000 in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta give Florida its taxes because I don't live there, and I'm not gonna. Right now, I'm not planning on investing in Florida again for the moment. So I gotta pay whatever taxes I gotta pay. So it's not like the whole money is gonna go in my pocket, but I'm thinking about when I ask for a price at the end result, I'm gonna have much back, a little bit of the money I spent maintaining that property, which is not clean or anything, but I've had to clean it around it many times because of the people are always bitching about it's overgrown and this and that. Plus I've paid taxes. I've paid stormwater taxes, so something I got to get back.
Oh yeah, 100%.
No, I can't break even. So if I'm going to break even, I prefer to construct the house myself and then sell it. But since I don't want to go through that hassle of constructing right now, I'm willing to sell if it's the right price.
Absolutely. And then I know you mentioned earlier that before you got sick, you had an offer around 116,000.
Yeah.
Was that, I know prior to you being sick, is that a price range that was in the ballpark of you saying, okay, this would be a good price range for me to kind of commit to? So if you didn't get sick, would that be a price range that you would have said yes to?
Exactly. I was ready to do that, but unfortunately, I got sick. Okay. And when I got sick, I was hospitalized. I almost passed away. Thanks to God, I'm here. I feel much better, recuperated, and I'm willing to sell, for the right price.
Gotcha. Okay. No, great. And
if you look at it, 116 right in between two lots.
58,000.
It's not like totally like, you can't look at it, I'm paying 116 for one lot. I'm paying 116 for two lots. But if somebody wants the whole lot, then they're paying, much more, they're paying much more because they got double property.
Okay.
Double land,
Absolutely. No, that makes 100% sense. And I'm glad that first of all, I do want to say I'm glad that you are feeling better. Obviously, it's good for you to still be breathing above ground. My grandma always said every day above ground is a great one. So I want to, make sure that I acknowledge that for you as well. And then secondly, in regards to price for us, now I think we're kind of, now that I kind of understand what you've gone through in the past before with other people, it seems like we're in the same ballpark. I would probably be somewhere around $50K per lot, all in, to be able to cover your expenses and your closing costs.
Yeah, which right now I was going to transfer you that because you're going to spend a little bit money doing your research if we've signed a contract. But closing cost is practically zero because you know that I can transfer that lot to wherever I want. And we can even do it online. So it's not like really, unless we're going to do it legally with a lawyer and you're going to pay a lawyer or you got a lawyer in your company. But legally, we can break all that cost and it'll be practically, if you're really interested, you're going to spend a little money. I'm going to wait, but if we're going to go serious, I don't want, if you're like, okay, I'm really serious, I want this property, I'm going to buy it. Then I'm going to ask for you to give me and not deposit it somewhere where I can't touch it until we do the contract. I want you to give me just like an example, I'm going to give you $2,000. You're going to deposit that money in my bank because you're already interested in it. You're 100% sure you want it. You know, we're not going to go back and forth anymore. You're going to give me $2,000, and as soon as all the paperwork that you guys got to do is check and this and that and whatever. If you buy the property, you just discount those $2,000 from the total. You know, if you don't buy the property and you're like 30 days, 45 days doing whatever you got to do, then we can agree that for the 45 days, maybe I'll give you back $1,000 because in 45 days or 30 days, if I can't sell the property to somebody else, then I lost probably somebody that is really interested in it. Understand?
Yes, sir, 100%. And
so
you mentioned
some kind of arrangement like that because I don't want. I'm not going to sign a document where you're going to put in a trust $2,000 guarantee this and that, and then 30 days later, for some reason, something happens that I don't want to even think about what reason could it be. You say no, I don't want that property now. Then I lost 30 days of waiting, 30 days of possible clients, and then I don't get nothing. So you're just going to think about it like, oh, I'm going to give him the $2,000. If I buy the property, I'll just discount it from the total. It'll be in the contract, all written down. Once the properties, I sign and pass it all to you, you know, you're going to, before I sign any document, if I got to go to Florida, wherever you're at, and sign that document, and you giving me that check so I could deposit it or whatever, because, or you make a wire transfer and I see that money in my account, because, you know, right now with so many scams.
Agreed.
You know, I can't believe, even though you're talking to me very nicely, very respectfully, but there's so much scams out there that I don't know who's who.
Correct.
And you don't know who I am.
Right.
But you got my number, so you got my number from a public place, and you know that I'm the owner because there's no mistake to this now.
100%.
100%. You can write here that you're from Superstar Christ the Lord business, but then at the end you're a scam.
Agreed.
And I've had multiple times that they've tried to scam me and my wife and this and that, but luckily, you know, you can identify when scams are getting like too persistent and too tricky and too whatever.
Agreed. And you bring up a very excellent point, and some of the things that you communicated, I just do want to clarify because we are on the same track, but I do want to just take a moment just to explain our process because it's very similar. But in order to avoid scams, the reason why we have to go through attorneys and title companies, exactly what you just mentioned. We have to confirm that you're the actual owner on the deed, right?
And there's not a lien.
Correct. That there's no liens, there isn't anyone else claiming.
It's clean of this and that and whatever. I know you got to spend a little bit of money.
Correct.
But if you're interested in the property, because the property is right now like a potato.
Correct.
I get offers constantly, daily. I mean, for the past, I don't know, maybe 8-10 years. And it's been growing, the numbers of offers that I get. Many ridiculous, many look pretty tempting, but it's like I've let those properties. I had a purpose in the beginning when I bought these properties, but the purpose totally changed. See, it totally changed completely, and I'm going to be specific. Especially when my family passed away, they used to live close in that area, in that subdivision. So that's why I bought that property early, like 30 years ago. I don't even remember, 25, 30, maybe even more. And it had a purpose. When I retired, I was going to build and be close to many of my family.
Correct.
Right now, it's like zip. I only got like maybe 2 families there, which are pretty close. But right now I live in Georgia, so I'm not I'm not gonna drive down there right now.
No, makes sense. And in regards to kind of like the scams, typically the way we do our deposit is, our rule of thumb is unfortunately, because we're, a public company, we can't deposit the money into your bank account, but we can deposit the money into an escrow account. And then, of course, the title agent will be able to send you a receipt that, the money is in escrow. It will be deducted from the purchase price that we, agree upon. And then the two things that we need to verify before we, go ahead and transfer the full amount over to you, whether we send it over to you via wire or whether they, send you a check via mail, is one, we have to make sure that the property is clear of any encumbrances, meaning no liens, no back taxes, the whole 9 yards. And then two, we have to make sure that there's no wildlife on the property, no gopher tortoises or anything of that nature that will prevent us from actually building on the property. And that speaks to the other costs associated with us buying this land that we're interested in. And then after those two things check out, like you mentioned earlier, it'll be a 30-day process. So once we get the escrow deposit in and we get those two forms of confirmation, then we'll be set to close, ideally. So that's typically the way that we run our process in our business, just to keep everything above board. Just so one, we don't get scammed, because we don't want to put any deposit down and then we don't hear from you, right? So scam works both ways when it comes to both sellers and buyers, right? So that's typically why we like to do everything through a title company or an escrow agent, which we will cover all the costs for, of course. So that's typically the way our process will work. We'll put in, it sounds like you mentioned 2,000 escrow deposit. That's right in line with what we already do. So we'll put $1,000 per lot in. This is a double lot, so we'll be okay with putting $2,000 in escrow. And then once we agree on, the two other terms we need to agree on is the overall price per lot and then the closing date. So those are the two final items that we have left to agree before we decide to do business with each other.
Okay. Sounds good. The only last thing is that number one, I gotta talk to my wife because this is mine and hers.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, you gotta send me your company's information so my wife can research you and make sure that you exist, and you can send me also your public. Because in Florida you gotta, I don't know if it's every year because I've never had a business in Florida, but you gotta register your company in Florida, in the Florida government, whatever. And I'm gonna be able to see that you guys exist, and then we'll be working little by little, baby steps, till we get to the point where we're probably gonna be doing business.
Absolutely. That sounds fair to me. And it sounds like, of course, I want to go ahead and support you in your efforts in talking to your wife. Definitely, if she's a decision maker, I want her included in this conversation as well, too. In the past, when you guys talked about selling this property, what has been her feedback or opinion from the other offers that you guys have gotten?
Oh, she was okay, but the thing was that once I got sick, her efforts were total focus on my recovery. So so everything was in standstill, and then we cut communications. But we still got another property there, very close to that one, which is well water also. Maybe you saw it online also. I'm not sure, but it's 1231 Waffle Street. It's just about a street up of that one. That one's a corner lot that's in a main street, and Waffle Street is the next street up, and it's 1231 Waffle Street, SD, in Palm Bay.
Would you be interested in selling that one as well?
Yeah, because I'm actually going to sell all my property right now, because I don't want to say like this is something that's going to happen, but I want to. I'm right now here, okay, feel great, but I don't know about tomorrow, and I don't want to leave things around loose for my wife And right now, so we're not going to construct there. We're not moving down there. So I'm going to get rid of all my properties little by little.
Okay. So let me do this for you, Mr. Jose. What I need from you is just a good email address. So then that way I can go ahead and send you over two things. I'm going to go ahead and put this in writing for you, number one. Number two, I'm going to go ahead and send you over a proof of funds. So that way you can kind of see, one, our company name, two, that we have the funds to close. The third thing that I'm going to do for you is I'm going to go ahead and talk over with my partner, and we're going to set aside this money for you. So that way, once you talk to your wife, we already have the funds ready to go and submit to escrow. So I'm going to go ahead and just ask for you to just provide me your email address, and then I'm going to go ahead and knock out those three things. So that way, when you come back to me or when I follow up with you, we already have the money ready to go in escrow. And in that way, we can quickly do all of our due diligence items. So that way we can meet the 30-day mark and close for you on time once you speak to your wife.
Okay, so right now she's not here because she's at her office.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll talk to her first. I'm not going to send you the email immediately. I'm going to talk to her first if she's available. I rather wait till she gets back this afternoon, practically in the evening. She's going to be here between 5:30 and 6. As soon as I talk to her and she gets in and we eat dinner and discuss the day and everything, I explain to her my conversation with you, and she's going to tell me, okay, send them this email. This is the email. I'll be sending you that email immediately that I speak with her.
Okay. So just so we're kind of on the same page, and just so I don't, I want to move at your speed. We're currently actively, let me double check. We are have a couple more. We have one more week into the month close. We do have some more allotments for lots this month. And every month we do like to budget for a certain amount of lots that we have. So I do want to give you the time to go ahead and speak over, to your wife, and make sure that you guys are both in alignment on things. But based on everything that we
just send me. I don't know if right now if we agreed on an offer.
Right. That's what I was about to get to. So right now I wanted to make sure that everything that we've discussed, that way you can accurately communicate it to your wife. I want to make sure that I'm leaving a conversation with clarity, and also you're leaving a conversation with clarity as well too. Okay. Based on the number one deposit amount, $2,000 in escrow, is that good with you?
Yeah, but I gotta discuss it with her because my wife is a CPA, so she knows about numbers, and she has the license for when they're gonna sell a house.
She's a realtor?
She's not a realtor. She's the other person that approves the budget, investigates and does all the budgeting thing, how you call that, broker.
Okay.
She's the broker. She's the broker,
Okay.
So, she's gonna know. She's gonna be able to find out very well, the whole situation. And she's my caregiver, so I do everything under her.
Agreed. Right. Now, being that she's one of the decision makers involved, do you want me to provide you all of the information so that way you can give her the full picture? Because that's one of the reasons why I wanted your email, so that way I can send you over at least
Well, I'm going to say this. Give me a call around 7 o'clock.
Okay.
If it's possible.
Okay.
She's going to be here. She's going to be here before that. But she's here. She's changed. She's eating dinner. And you give me a call about 7 o'clock. And she'll be hearing the whole conversation.
Okay.
She might ask you a couple of questions. And that way, at that point, you don't have to explain yourself like 2 or 3 times. And if she starts asking me, well, did you ask him this? Did you ask him that? I'm gonna say no, because I don't know what what doubts she might have. So, but at 7 o'clock, right there, once if everything squares out with her, we'll be sending right there immediately the email. Then you'll be sending all that written back or whatever, and whatever. Practically, the conversation that you're having with me is gonna be like finalized if there's a deal.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Good deal. And you guys are in Eastern time, if just to make sure, correct?
Yeah, we're in Eastern time.
Okay, perfect.
What time are you in?
I'm in Eastern time as well. I just wanted to make sure because your area code said a different
787, yeah, because I got a phone that I purchased in an emergency in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And I've stayed with the number for the past because I used to travel a lot for the past, I don't know, 40 years, and I haven't wanted to change it. So because it's like that number is like it's like it sticks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that 636-6699, it's like sticky.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing tricky is the area code, but
Understood.
she's got a Florida number.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and mark you down, you guys, on my calendar for 7 o'clock, and then we can go ahead and reconvene the conversation and see if it makes sense for both of us to move forward. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
All right. Thank you so much, Jose. And then again, my name is Francisco, like San Francisco. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
All right.
My name is Jose. My wife's name is Elizabeth.
Awesome. Okay. I look forward to talking to you and Elizabeth at 7 o'clock. Okay.
All right. Have a good one.
You as well.
Great job, Francisco. You did a good job.
I hate when they do that, bro. That got under my skin when he hit me with that. I gotta talk to my wife. Shit. Oh my gosh.
But you did so good. You did very
You
good.
did
Oh my
an
gosh.
excellent job. You had patience. Love it. You did it.
So look, the one mistake I would have done, well, one thing I would have done differently is I should have asked him at the very beginning, is there anyone else that needs to be involved in this conversation before we agree moving forward?
And you normally do, Francisco. That's the crazy part.
And literally when he said that, I'm like, this nigga got my ass, bro.
No, because he mentioned at the beginning, Francisco, that the wife would be okay with the decision that he makes. That's why you didn't ask. At the very beginning, that's why he mentioned.
Yeah,
And
said,
then listen, oh my gosh, that got under my skin. Y'all never seen me mad, but that got under my skin when he said that. I'm like, but you have to respect that, because of course you want to make sure that they do, talk it over with, whoever they feel like they need to entrust. But that is what, like Derby said, normally I always ask that, but the way he was talking, he was like, I'm the sole decision maker. I'm a, you know what I mean? Like, yada, yada. Like, he was talking like a macho man. So I'm like, oh, okay. Boom.
That's
Knock him down.
Francisco, I agree. I thought the same thing. He came off as if he's the decision maker. And then when it comes down to the nitty gritty and to make a decision, he flipped. He flipped the script. So yeah, that's not on you. It's just the way he.
Well, Francisco.
Yeah.
Listen, some of the things he said, he's trying to slow down the interaction, because he did say, like, throughout the conversation, he was like, little by little, time by time. So he's trying to slow the momentum a little bit.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if I call him at 7 o'clock and he's late. But we'll see. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll see. We have a buyer lined up at what, 55, right?
I think he likes you. I think he's just wary about the whole thing, but he likes the direction of everything. Yeah.
And I think he's gonna answer too, because every time I call him, he always answers. I think he would answer.
Good deal.
Is there such thing as seller's remorse?
Sometimes there
really
is.
Hype, and then when you seem like you kind of closed him in, his tonality just changed completely.
And I think also what it is because when people say, "Oh, I get calls all the time," and I got the last offer was 116,000, and Stephanie, you said Derby asked him that, right? I mean, Derby, you offered him 116 or?
Derby did.
I don't remember.
Derby's like, I don't remember.
What did I
offer? Yeah, but one of the things that I guess one of the things that you got, well, anybody on the phone, is you see it like over the course of time, he started talking a little bit more. You just gotta let them talk. You know what I mean? And then it sounds like he's kind of like up there in age. He did disclose that, his wife is his caregiver. You know what I mean? And then I think the motivation behind selling is not necessarily more so on price. He just wants to make sure he doesn't get ripped off. You know what I mean? And I did this when me and Derby was having when we're doing gummies and cold calling. But the way that my method of making sure I get them to agree is you want to land the plane.
Remember? I am. Okay, you can feel free.
And give me 1 second. You want to land the plane by getting them to agree on the fundamentals as first. So one, let's agree on escrow price. Let's agree on the escrow amount. Let's agree on the purchase price. Well, agree on escrow amount, agree on closing date, and then let's agree on price.
And also, I like when you ask him about his number, he didn't really tell, but you just got him at that 116. You be like, okay, this is where I will be. I like that part.
Correct. He kept saying, oh, I need a reasonable number. Well, you already told me what you got before. So is that reasonable or is that not reasonable? Because if that's not reasonable, what I got to offer you, I don't want to waste my breath.
Exactly. I like
But you got to find a certain way to kind of like tie that in to say, okay, well, before you got sick, this was an acceptable number. So you can't be telling me 116 and then expect me to pay more than 116 if you didn't even go with the 116 to begin with. So, I mean, of course, he has to think about it. I mean, $16,000 less. I would probably want to talk to my wife too if I'm got to take an offer for $16,000 less. You know what I mean? But that's one of the reasons why if I would have handled that objection earlier and then went for the close, I think we would have been having a different story. But this is also a good showcase to show you guys that not every call is going to be a one call close. We might get on the phone and we might have to do another follow up. You might not. The wife may be on something crazy. She might be like, I want 116. You know what I mean? Who knows? But these are at least the conversations that at least one gives an impression, makes you, if you do follow up, it's someone that they can remember having a conversation with. And we talked to him for what, 20, 25 minutes?
He's going to remember you, Francisco.
Right. And that's the intention behind the call is even if we don't decide to do business together right then and there, we at least have something to pick up the conversation and follow up on. And then he also disclosed that he has another lot that he wants to sell.
Exactly. If he didn't like you, he wouldn't offer you something else.
Correct.
He's like ready to go with you.
Correct. So if I was on a gummy, we probably would have been talking for like 30, 45 minutes. But
he also mentioned that the wife, like he wanted to send her somewhere maybe to look up the business. So how would that work? Do you have a website or how does that typically, how do you handle that?
Yeah, so typically we could just send them our website. If you do have a website, you could send them website directly. Most of us have, I have a website. Derby has a website. I think Stephanie does as well. So if they do ever ask for that, you can always provide them whatever information that will make them feel like, okay, I'm dealing with an actual human and I'm dealing with an actual company as well too. So, and someone also had a question about that earlier. And if you don't have a website, guys, I don't know if ChatGPT can do it, but Claude 100% can make a website in less than 5-10 minutes for you. If you don't have one, FYI. Derby, let me do your call real quick for your seller that we gotta
Okay. Actually, I was gonna just try to call him and then like maybe have you guys here, and then if you have anything you want to give me advice on, you can put in the chat. Hopefully, let's try that way because I want to see how he responds to a female.
Let's do it.
Okay.
And if you need to let me put my partner on the phone. I'll give him the gift.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm going in, guys, for like a $12,000 reduction. I'm gonna start at $20,000 reduction.
Damn.
And then I'm probably gonna go to
20 bands.
And I'm only doing that because there's gold for tortoises. I'm gonna screenshot and send it to him. Hold on, let me make my mic background friendly so y'all can hear. Okay. All right, so I'm about to call him and be like, hey, bro, you got 2 turtles on this bitch. Like, we got to figure this out. Okay, let me just call him. Oh, shit, I almost FaceTimed him. Okay.
Hello.
Hey James, this is Derby. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hey, I just wanted to give you an update on everything. We just started our inspection, and our environmentalists went out there the other day, and they found that there was some gopher tortoises on your lot. Did you know that?
That's a lie. Straight up. That's a straight up lie because I have maintained that lot for years, and it's been bush hogged numerous times every year. Every year I have receipts and everything. That thing's been bush hogged. If they would have found gopher turtles, they would have gotten in trouble and they would have told me.
All right, well, I'm gonna send you the full report. I'm just gonna screenshot what I got, but this is from a full environmental company, and they actually work with the county. So the county's now gonna be aware of the gopher tortoises as well, just so you know.
Okay, well, if they send me pictures of where they are on the lot,
I
all that
did.
kind of stuff.
I already did all that.
Okay.
I sent it to you. I'm gonna send the full survey over, but they're asking for a reduction now because obviously now we have to do the holding costs and get them removed and all that. It's gonna cost lots of money to get that done.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to look it over, but if there is obviously the gopher tortoises and you do your due diligence and see that, are you gonna be open to a reduction or you just want to cancel it?
No, I'll get canceled. That's fine.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, look it over and then let me know, what you want to do, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Bye. Why did I
Derby!
No, let me tell you why I did that. I sent it over to him so he can review it. I was going to do the reduction aspect, but I always like to ask them because technically on your contract, you're supposed to ask the seller, do you want to forfeit the contract and cancel, or do you want to potentially continue and and do the reduction? You're supposed to ask that. You're supposed to give them the opportunity to back out of the contract, essentially, if there's environmental issues.
But Dwayne said no.
He said it very firm, so I was like, okay, well, look it over, and then you can tell me what the hell you want to do.
That boy was triggered. You triggered him. He immediately wasted no time. No, they're lying.
Yeah, it's like he had this over.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter about maintaining the property. That's not even the whole point of it. But I didn't want to argue with him because you could tell he's very much in his he
was hostile.
Yeah, he was definitely hostile. Like, are you okay?
Yeah, he's on the piss.
He was triggered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh well. We'll see. That one's a deal with Austin. So hopefully I don't know. Yeah.
All right. What you got? You got another one?
You want to call that lady in Brooksville, just get it done with so we can see what she wants to do? Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm gonna send you her.
Give me some more info though. You said she what, wetland or in a floodplain?
So it's in flood zone.
Flood zone, okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna send you an info. It's out on here. It's out on here. Hold on, let me see. Okay. It's on Ricebird Ave. Let me send this over to you, and then I want you to see if this would be something that you guys can work on. Okay, I'm gonna put the number in the chat for you. She has an 813 number, Francisco.
Ooh, she from Tampa.
Yeah, she lives in Tampa. I just sent it to you. Did you get it? In the group Zoom chat?
In what group chat though?
Not group chat, the Zoom chat.
Oh, okay. Okay, perfect.
So just let her know, hey, unfortunately, the family and we all drove by it. We looked at it. It looks like there's some flood. It's in a flood zone, so it's going to require flood insurance. And that's just going to be too much for the family. And so we're going to have to take it off our inventory. But, I can easily list it for you if it's something that you're open to doing to see if we can find retail buyers.
Okay. For her name is Joan?
Joanne.
Joanne, okay. Joanne. You want me to mention you specifically?
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, Derby wanted me to reach out to you to let you know, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, we have it for 31K. You want to go for a reduction or no?
No, just go ahead and ask her if she wants to list it first.
Okay.
But it's still discounted technically.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, good afternoon, Joanne.
Hi. Who's this? Yes.
This is Francisco. I work alongside Derby LaRock.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I was giving you a call about the vacant lot on Ricebird Avenue.
Uh-huh.
Yes, ma'am. So I was calling to just give you an update. Derby's currently traveling right now, so I want to just give you a courtesy call.
Okay.
So we got back some reports that this particular lot is in a floodplain, flood zone.
No, mine's not. Mm-mm.
Gotcha.
I don't require flood insurance.
Correct. So yeah, we do have a report that that does say a little bit otherwise. We wanted to just kind of like bring that up to your attention because the reason it's important is because the family that we're building new construction for, they no longer qualify for the house because they need to have that extra flood insurance for obviously to insure the house. We don't necessarily want to cancel the contract, but we wanted to run it by you and see if you were still open for us to market the property and find a replacement buyer for you, so that way you could still get it sold.
Okay, so the whole deal was you only were buying it if you had a buyer for it.
Correct. We what we do is we pre-sell new construction, so we get them pre-approved already, and then we go ahead and source the lot, and we pair these lots with families that we build new construction for. With this particular family, they fall out of contention having that extra cost to account for flood insurance.
Which is interesting because I've already done all that work and we were ready to build on it, and the county did not require flood insurance.
Correct. So what we can do is we can go ahead and send you over the FEMA floodplain map. And then that way you can also verify it yourself as well too. But that does change every so often after every major hurricane or every hurricanes. And it looks like in October they updated it.
That could be possible.
Correct. So Derby was letting me know that obviously this sale, was, pretty, she wanted to make sure we at least did all of that we can to kind of like keep the deal together. But an alternative solution that we can provide is making sure that we either one, find a replacement buyer or market the property so that way it could still get sold and you can still get the funds that you need after closing. So instead of canceling it, we just at least want to extend the opportunity to continue trying to find a buyer, or if you want to cancel it, you can as well too. But she just wanted me to reach out and just provide that courtesy option while she was out traveling.
Okay. I have to think about, because, and I don't know how long would it take you to market it.
So we can normally aim for 30 to 45 days. And if you feel like at that point, if it's still taking too long, we can go ahead and cancel the contract. But, we wanted to have that be the last resort because we still wanted at least to have an opportunity to be of service for you and make sure that you get to the closing table, which is the ultimate goal. So unfortunately, even though it wasn't okay with this particular family, we'll still love to connect you with the buyer and make sure again you get to the closing table as originally intended, even though this was a small hiccup in the process.
Okay. I think that sounds fine. And no additional fees to myself, correct?
No, ma'am. Everything will stay as agreed. Derby did let me know that we can still keep the price at $31,000. No, nothing has to change in terms of price or, the only thing that's changing right now is just asking for 30, 45 days to find another replacement buyer. And then again, we can take it on a case by case basis, but she really was adamant of making sure that we provide that alternative solution for you.
Okay. Yeah, I am in rush. I'm not in a big rush to sell it. I mean, I almost did it. So, so I guess we could take like another 30 days for you guys to find somebody else.
Perfect. That's fine. If you're not in a rush, that's even better. So that way, again, we don't want you to feel pressured. We just wanted to provide that extra solution for you because we want to be solution focused working with Miss LaRock. So that's really the real reason why we went ahead and offered that. So 30 days is more than enough time. and then we'll reevaluate the situation at the end of those 30 days. And then if we have a buyer, great. If we don't, you're more than welcome to make the decision that best suits, you and your situation.
Okay, that's fine.
Perfect.
Will you just send me something quick and ready?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll go ahead and send you over an addendum. And then the addendum is just going to specify that, again, everything will stay the same. No closing costs charged to you. Price is staying the same. And then we're just doing another 30-day extension just to make sure we have time to find another replacement buyer for you. Okay?
That's fine.
Perfect. All righty. Sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Talk to you soon.
You too. Bye.
On fire.
Oh, that's right. I know that's right. Here's what I'm talking about. Good job, Francisco. So how do you want to do that? You want to do the addendum and then you can market it for us and put on MLS or something?
Yeah, I'll send you the verbiage to put on the addendum.
Heard. All right, cool. Well, I think that's it for me.
Perfect.
Your agreement doesn't already have the marketing terms in it?
Nope, because I was gonna sell it to my builder and he said no to it. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. I'm gonna hop off. Bye, Francisco. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
All right, perfect. Let me do one more. Gene, let me get yours.
Just do the Palm Bay one.
The Palm Bay
one. Yeah.
This is the Lamar Street one?
Yes.
Give me 1 second. Do you know if it's a white lot or do you want me to look it up?
White. It's white.
White. Okay. Give me 1 second. 35 might be a little bit too much, but we might need to get them down to like 25, 30. Let me look it up real quick.
Oh, you said it was negotiable.
Negotiable? Okay. Let me see if I can go 3 for 3 today. Let me write this real quick.
But it's been ghosting me, so.
Have you had a phone conversation with him?
Yes.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm underwriting it real quickly. Yeah, we have to get him down to like 25, 30 maybe. But if we want to make some money, 25. If we can still make money at 30, but they're like at 35, 34 for white lots in this particular area. I have a builder that would take this at 35. I think Derby Builder will take it at 40. But let's see if we can make this work. All right.
I don't know if you want to mention me or you can feel free to reach out to him on your own without mentioning me because he's been ghosting.
That's fine.
Okay.
What's his name?
Henry. Yeah.
Henry? Okay. Let's see if I can go 3 for 3. Put a 3 in the chat if y'all think I can go 3 for 3 today. I'll just play 7035. All right, go ahead.
Hi, if you record your name and reason for calling, I'll see if this person is available.
Francisco, and I'm calling about a vacant lot in Palm Bay.
Thanks, Francisco. Please stay on the line.
Hello, hey, good afternoon. How are you? I'm doing good. I was calling to speak to Henry about a vacant lot in Palm Bay on Lamar Street.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I was calling to see if you were interested in selling that vacant lot by chance.
Hmm. Yes and no, depending on the price. On the
Okay. Real quick, before we move any forward and discuss price, is there anyone else that in the event that we do decide to move forward on price and we agree, is there anyone else that you want to talk about this with, or are you the only decision maker?
well, I guess I'm not the decision maker.
Oh, okay. There's someone else that has a say so in the property getting sold.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Okay. Would you like to include them in this conversation, or would you like to make sure that we, at least have their opinion voiced while we're discussing the price of this property?
Well, I guess
Okay. Is it a spouse, a wife, a brother?
yeah, maybe, yeah, yes, I'm on
Okay. Well, just to give you a little bit of context, we are looking to close on at least maybe 2 to 5 more lots in the month of April. So we do want to be able to close in the next, 30 days. But I just want to make sure that, now is a good time to speak. It does sound like you're a little bit tired, so I want to be respectful of your time. Oh, okay. Would you like to discuss this at a later time, or we want to schedule another time to talk?
Yeah, definitely. That's okay with you.
Okay. What days or time works better for you? It sounds like you might work the graveyard shift or the night shift. Okay. Okay. Say that one more time. You sound a little hard to hear.
Yes, this weekend will be fine.
Okay, you're off on the weekends?
Yeah, most of the time, especially this on the weekend.
Okay. Well, we can set up a time to talk over the weekend. If it makes sense for us to do business together, I'd love to, buy this property from you, put some money in your pocket, and I'll maybe give you some time off vacation with some extra funds. Okay. No problem. Well, we can go ahead and speak later this week, and then we can go ahead and reconvene in that conversation. Okay. All right. No problem. Talk soon.
Wow.
That boy, I can hear the breath in his. Oh my gosh, that boy just rolled out of bed. Yeah, Gene, he might be. I mean, if he works overnight, that's probably why you haven't been hearing from him. He sound dead tired.
All right. He told me he had like 4. He's open to
4.
2. So, and
Let
he
me
told
see.
me, yeah, I don't know. I'll send you the address for all of
Let me
them.
see. Did he sound that low on energy when you
No, I called him on a Saturday. I called him Friday. He told me to call him Saturday. I called him Saturday, and he seemed to be more energetic then.
Okay.
But he's still not. He's still very. It seems like he doesn't trust people. I don't know. So
Gotcha.
guarded, definitely guarded.
Gotcha. Yeah, I kind of got that same sentiment. It looks like he owns them side by side, so that's good
Yeah,
at least.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, bet I have your number. Let me make sure this is it. It's yours ending in a 2994.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and follow up with you on that one. I would probably say if he's interested in selling, we definitely, especially if he got 2, let's
He
definitely
got
keep an
4.
eye on him.
He
Oh,
got
4?
4. But he said for sure he wants to sell 2. The other one is iffy about it. Maybe, maybe not. So it depends.
Gotcha. Okay. I will keep him as a follow and make sure that we stay on top of him so that way we can lock him in.
Yeah, for sure. By the way,
All right.
do you have buyers in Lehigh Acres?
Yes.
Okay, I have a few under contract. Some are off market, some are on market. Should I get rid of the on market ones?
Prioritize the ones that are off market, and
Okay.
then what's the next question? As long as you send them over with some like I'm looking at some of the notes now. They're good notes. At least start the initial conversation. So that way, if I can reference you, it's okay. If not, just give me, as much context as possible. So that way I have something to work with going into the conversation. That's the only thing I need when making these calls or walking through deals.
Yeah, the notes weren't enough. The notes I
No,
sent
no,
you.
no. No, no, they were good, but I was just saying, just for like future context, and then also just for anybody out there as well too.
Okay.
If you send me anything, just make sure that you at least have that initial conversation with them, and then we're not starting from scratch. You know what I mean? Just that's just a general statement, just in general.
All right.
Sweet.
So
All right,
should I
guys.
cancel the ones on market? The one I have on
Yeah,
market? Cancel
yeah,
them?
the on market ones I won't be able to do much with those just
Okay.
because if they're already on market, the buyer's probably either one already seen it or two, it just depends. Like if it's on market, it would be a different strategy depending on
Right.
what the conversation has been like. For example, Stephanie sent me one that was on market, and the seller was motivated, which made sense to at least get on the phone with them, right? If they're not motivated and then we try to like negotiate with them, it's not necessarily a waste of time, but it isn't the best use of time if they're already advertising for a buyer at a price point that doesn't make sense.
No, I got one that's a good price. That's why I got it. But
Ooh,
I don't have a buyer for it.
that okay, send it over and then I'm gonna actually contact you to make sure that those deals that you send over in the future don't fall through the cracks. So I see what happened. I understand why she didn't get back, but I'm gonna clarify that with her first and then update you and make sure that we're aligned on expectations moving forward.
All right. Thank you, Francisco.
No problem. Erica said, I tried to check out the buyer on your new port website, but it was down. What's going on? Thank you, Erica. I actually just fixed that once Gene brought that to my attention. And that website was built on with AI on Manus. And there was something with like the server that happened, and I had to basically like reset the funds on it, and it's up now.
Forget to send it to me to Francisco, please.
I got you. I got you. So I just fixed it on this call too, Stephanie. I just found out what was happening. So I'm gonna send it to you right after.
Okay. Oh, you drop it in on the group chat?
Let me do it now. Give me 1 second.
Oh yeah, I'm driving. If you can send it to me directly, I will appreciate it.
Perfect. And I'm actually going to switch this over to Claude. So just keep in mind, Stephanie, Jean, that the link is going to update later. So this doesn't happen
Okay.
again.
All right.
But yeah, the website that I just dropped in the link or in the chat, that's why I said earlier, you can make a website with AI in less than 5-10 minutes. I did this one that I just dropped in the chat on Manus. But I'm gonna switch it over to Claude so that way I don't keep running into issues with Manus server. Bet. Real quick before we log off, any takeaways from any of the calls that we did, or anything that you guys kind of learned today watching or observing calls that you are going to implement on your calls with sellers?
Yes, what's up with it, man? It's Rick.
What up, bro?
I had a call before your call, but one thing I'm gonna take away is like you didn't never go into price and you like just took control. Like you was in control the whole time. At no point did you like stutter or fumble over words, or was he able to trip you up on like all the calls you did? So like I'm gonna take away control and like you said, see if you can get him to those three barriers. Like agree to the three different tiers. You actually, I mean, I know we're gonna get the replay, but you actually need to bullet point that. Like, hey, you want to get people to these 3 steps to agree before you go into price. And I'm gonna start leading with, "Are you the only decision maker?" Because I never say that. So that was
Correct.
cool.
Good deal. Good deal. Appreciate you, Rookie. Anything else? Anybody else?
I think one thing that was really great is when you're having a conversation and saying you're calling about one property, I might say something like, oh, but I'm open to speaking about any other properties that you have, for sale or would like to talk about.
Absolutely. That's also a good pivot as well too, because sometimes there's been times, whether it be through text message or a phone conversation, where they don't even want to talk about said property that we're actually talking about, and their mind is like, oh, I don't want to talk about that one, but I may want to talk about something else, right? And another thing, also going back to what Ricky said real quick, that I want to make sure you guys are aware of, is I've never been a fan of scripts in conversations, because it's a lot easier going into the conversation knowing these are the objectives of the conversation. This is the reason why we're having the conversation. You got to know what's the purpose of this particular conversation. And if you really think about it, for a buyer and a seller to agree on it, on moving forward or signing a contract or anything, what Ricky said is those are the three things we got to agree on. We got to agree on price, we got to agree on escrow deposit, and then closing date, and to see if this even makes sense for us to move forward, right? So if you can kind of like land the plane and kind of see like, okay, well, what would a good deal? There's many different ways you can ask this question, but sometimes I like to word the question of like, okay, well, you're saying what the price is right. In my line of work, not only does price matter, but terms matter. Because if I give you the price that you want, Mrs. Seller, but it takes me 2 years to work, 2 years to give it to you, are you going to say yes? So price isn't the only thing that gets deals done. We have to also agree on terms. So what terms will make the ideal situation enticing for you to say yes, or for us to work together? And then I can give you feedback on that and see if we can kind of meet in the middle. Because price is not the only thing that gets deals done. And another way you could do it as well too is you could just ask them, if I give you a price you want, but I take 3 years to give it to you, is that worth your time? No. Or just be quiet after you ask the question. Either or. Anything else before we log off, guys?
Hi, Francisco. This is Carla. I have a quick question regarding the EMD. Okay, so how would that work for me? Because I don't have it. But if I have a deal and I'm working with you, do you have that a proof of funds letter, that kind of thing that could be used for the deal?
Yes, there is a website called Straight Line Funding.
Straight Line. Okay, let me break that.
I'm put it in the chat.
And that's for a proof of.
Yep, proof of fund letter.
You don't like double close anymore?
Derby used to be Derby's used double close before. I've always had success with Straight Line Funding. I don't have anything against double close, but I just always did Straight Line.
Okay. I never seen this one, but I'm not a big fan of double close myself. That's what I was just asking.
Yep. Straight Line is pretty straightforward. They have two options. I think they have a free one, and they also have a paid one as well too. And then they're actual real people that can pick up the phone when you need them, or if they, if you want to talk to them and stuff like that, and then do everything other than just transactional funding. It just so happens to be transactional funding is one of their things, and proof of funds is something that they provide because they understand working with wholesalers.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Question: what would be the purpose of doing any of that if the builders are the one funding this?
So two things. So one, it provides the seller confidence that you're going to either one, perform, or the second purpose would be to set you apart from all the other people that's giving them offers. So one of the common things that you'll probably hear is, and I think you've heard it in the first call that we did, where he was like, oh, I got so many offers, people call me about it all the time and things of that nature. The number one thing I like to say to that is, because that is almost the equivalent to me of people bragging about something that is irrelevant. Because my purpose in making sure that they know what sets me apart from other people is they're just talking. They're just telling you, oh, I'm able to offer you this. But hey, Mr. Seller, how do you know they'll be able to perform and move forward? So not only are we going to put it in writing, we want to go ahead and give you, evidence that, hey, this proof of funds letter, while it might not necessarily be your proof of funds, in the event that you needed a double close or perform on a different strategy, at least you're giving the seller some form of reassurance that this set of offer is different from everything else that you received.
Can you show us, I know you got to go, but can you show us how you use this straight line real quick?
So
Or
let me
is
go
it-
ahead.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that long.
Okay.
So if you go to straight line, you go to resources, you go to where it says resources. Where is that? And then you go to proof of funds letter. And then they have a property specific POF. So property specific, valid for 45 days, confirming that straight line has liquid funds available to support your purchase to up to a specific price, complimentary for qualified clients, limit to 1 per day. This is the free one that I was talking about. And then the general proof of funds is valid for 6 months, covering up to 5 states of your choice. And then they only charge $75 for this. And then they'll email you a payment link. Of course, you can call them and ask any questions so that way you can review it. You press start, and then you go through their format, and then they send you a proof of funds letter based on which one you pick.
Okay.
And they'll just ask you for your company name, the property, the purchase price, things of that nature. And then that way you have something, tangible to show them. This also works if you're going to be using or working with agents with MLS properties. A lot of times if you're working with agents that are already working with the seller, that's one of the other requirements that the agents will ask you for is a proof of funds letter, quote unquote.
You've had to use the $75 one before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I paid for the $75.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And again, if you don't want to pay for it, you just do property specific, and then it'll be valid for 45 days for that particular property.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Any other last questions before we wrap up? I actually like the fact that we went a little bit over today because not only do I really enjoy doing these calls because it benefits you guys, like from a learning perspective, but if we actually get deals done, it's even better. That's what gets me excited about doing these calls. But I also want to encourage you guys to, don't be scared when you're on the phone. Be confident. Go into every conversation with clear objectives and understand, when to continue to pursue or when to kind of like, okay, this person probably like, for example, that last call that we did, he sounded dead tired. Didn't even sound like, even if I gave him $1 million, I think he would have just been like, I don't think he was going for it. You know what I mean? So you just got to be able to quickly identify like, okay, maybe this is, let me keep pushing in a respectful way that doesn't sound too salesy, too pushy. You know what I mean? Just kind of, and you'll find that rhythm over time. And then, just keep, like, I wasn't always like this, so I don't want to ever say that I was always good on the phone because I wasn't, but it just comes over repeated practice, right? So I actually like these calls being seller focused because the way we get paid in this line of work is getting sellers on the contract at a price that we can sell the contract for. So hopefully that makes sense.
So I should be hearing from you soon, Francisco?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Perfect. All right, guys. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap up this call. Thank you so much. We'll be back same time, same place next week. And have a good rest of your day, guys.
Thank you, Francisco.
Thank you, Francisco.
Thank you.
You're welcome.